Hello, my name is Anthony Watson, and this is my self-reflection for Dr. DeLeon's social studies, how to teach social studies class. The first question is, what did you believe about social studies teaching and the use of technology before class? Um, what did I believe? Definitely since the first week and the second week, I definitely believe that okay, technology is definitely worth using. I'm definitely more open towards it because okay, now that I'm getting more familiar with the things that are available, it's like okay, we can maneuver what we use in class and become as future teachers. I definitely think technology definitely helps because it's a different way to make the content interesting for the students. And also, if it makes it more interesting, then they might learn it better and it might stick longer. Okay, let's see. There. And so I definitely believe, yes, I definitely use technology and but hopefully using the right ones and see what happens. Number two, how did today's learning and teaching activities challenge your past beliefs by the end of class? Well, obviously today we use the Socratic method. I've never heard of that before, and I'm kind of surprised because other our other classes should have brought that up because I think Socratic method, yeah, maybe we wouldn't be able to use it for elementary. Middle school, I'm not sure yet because I don't know whether middle schoolers have the attention span to do that. And plus, I mean, I know we had five for the Socratic method in class, and it's like, okay, would the students understand passages enough to do this? And we'd have to. I would definitely use it for high school because they definitely have to understand critical thinking and understand passages. And this would be an excellent way for them to understand what it's about, and um, they might be able to understand what's going on in social studies and be able to use history. And plus, I know at least in high school and maybe a little bit in middle school that they're interested in learning. They're constantly because I mean we'll use today for example. I'm a substitute. I went to a middle school today, PE aid, and they were constantly asking me questions. Like, I mean, one student actually asked me, "Are you on the teacher's side or our side?" And I'm like, "Huh? Like, where did that come from?" So it's kind of like, okay, they're willing to ask questions. It's just guiding the questions and guiding their focus. So, and why? And obviously because of my experiences. So I think the Socratic method, you would have to condition your students to pay attention and they'd have to read what they're going to be going over because otherwise you don't have the discussion and it doesn't make it that interesting. So we'd have to see like okay, how to, and plus you'd have to modify the questions depending on what level you're in. Number three, what did you learn that you think will make you a better social studies teacher? Obviously the Socratic method, because I definitely will use that. Because me as a future, I'm definitely going to become a high school teacher. Because I like high school students a lot better. And now, me personally, I'm going to become a special education teacher. It's kind of like, okay, I'd have to figure out whether my students would be able to handle this method because I'd have to ask the right questions because I'd have to figure out okay, what level are they on, reading comprehension wise, and I'd have to plan it because I've substituted at the high schools before, and some of them have really good reading comprehension, and they could have interesting conversation. It's just making sure to keep their interest. But I definitely use the Socratic method, and I would definitely use it in my classroom because it was definitely interesting. It was non-threatening. You kind of asked the right questions, and usually once one answered the one question, then you kind of expanded on it. And also the thing I loved about Dr. DeLeon's example was that she included everybody, and she asked questions that were general, so they didn't feel threatened, which is definitely important for education, because I know me personally, I was always very shy, and if I didn't know the answer, I know if I didn't know the answer, I'd hide up extremely quickly. Like, okay, just give one piece of information and that's it. This way, the teacher encourages collaboration and exchanging ideas. 4. What are some doubts you still harbor and why? For me, I'm kind of doubtful on, okay, when could we use these particular strategies, the Socratic method, because, okay, middle school, I'm not too sure whether they have the attention span to really be interested. Because, okay, maybe the 5 students inside the bowl, yeah, maybe. Because usually those 5 are your 5 best students. I've seen classes before, the people on the outside, they're talking to their friends, they're not paying attention. So as a teacher in the middle school, I would have to make sure that my students are paying attention, that they gather something. Obviously, us as college students, we're going to pay attention because we got to know this stuff. And it would definitely require classroom management and training them up to that point and making sure that they understand we're going to try something new. If this works, we'll do it again. If it does not, then you'll be reading. Because punishment, I know sometimes works, and that's one method I do know. Let's see. Support with your own experience. Obviously, I've given my experiences. Okay, what aspects of the article? Let me get on that. Fundamental digital skills for 21st century teachers. 1. Record and edit audio clips. I love this because, okay, I love technology. I love putting on PowerPoints, putting interesting photos. Now, obviously, I can't draw, but there's other people that can. And I can create a PowerPoint, make it interesting, put the key information. Because face it, a lot of the social studies books, it's boring information that nobody cares about. Me, I can put it on there, and I can put music, record and edit audio clips. Obviously, right now, I'm making an audio clip, video clip, so I can be like, okay, and today we're going to talk about Alexander Hamilton, and then I could put the little song in there from Hamilton, from the. And me personally, I like music, so I can insert music in there and make it interesting. And this way, if I see, okay, my personal, like, okay, let's say we're talking about the Alamo. Okay, I could talk about, one thing that I want to ask about is, what did you guys think about, were the people stupid for staying in the Alamo when they knew they were going to lose? And then have a discussion. Because, I mean, obviously the Alamo, it's something personable to them. And this way, and also, it can gauge what they know. So, audio clips, I know I'll use that. Number 2 is create interactive video content. Obviously, we're doing it on here with the personal, with the reflection. And I know I'm definitely getting more used to this. And this way it's more personable, because I can be like, okay, I can look over the material and say, okay, this is what I got. I can make this way I'm not in the front of the class lecturing from a book and people are falling asleep or talking. And this way, if I can make it interesting on my interactive video content, then I can, okay, here's the first part, here's the second part, and I can have digital videos that they'll be interested in, and I can ask the correct questions that gets them thinking about it. Create infographics and posters. I would definitely use this one because in one of my other classes, Dr. Newman, for teaching strategies, we had to do a poster for our digital notebook, and he said I was able to create a poster using Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and here Dr. Martin Luther King, and then quotes up here, quotes over here, down here, and down here, and it's quotes that got the kids got them thinking about what was going on, and this way I can personalize it and be like, okay, this is how this is going, this is where this is going to be, and I could ask them, okay, Dr. Martin Luther King, he was the blah blah blah, and here's a quote from this. What do you think about this particular quote? And what do you think it relates to you? And I can expand on that. And obviously there's a lot of links on here, and I know I'm going to definitely use them and look them up. Because part of being a teacher is researching them and seeing which ones, like, okay, I don't really like this website. Let's not use that one. Because like Pictochart.com, Canva, C-A-N-V-A. No, there's Canvas, but Canva, I don't know. Drawings.google.com. Drawings. I was like, I never heard of that one before. I have to use it, but because me personally, I'm not good at drawing, so I don't know about that. ThingLink. Hopefully, it's something that's very easy to use. We'll see. Create PLNs, connect, discover new content, and grow professionally. Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, and LinkedIn. Me personally, I don't think it's that great a resource because Facebook, no, there's not. I personally do not see that many resources on Facebook because usually it's me and my friends that I've made over a lifetime. Oh, well, for the last 15, 20 years. And I don't know how good it is. I think Google is much better at finding stuff like that. LinkedIn, I've never used. Twitter, no, because you have the 35 character limit or whatever character limit. Next one is use blogs and wikis to create participatory spaces for students. I love this because blogs, you can make sure that the students learn and that they learn and they can get their own personal blog and be like, okay, students, today we're going to be learning about, okay, let's use the Alamo one more time because obviously I had to learn about it for my for the whatchamacallit. Obviously that, okay, today's I want you to go onto your Chromebooks. We're going to talk about, do you think that should the soldiers have waited in the Alamo and wait for the incoming army, or should they have retreated? Give your reasons and why. Give experience. Give reasons and elaborate on it. And Blogger, WordPress, all of those are really good because I've heard of WordPress, and this way it makes it personable to the students. Create engaging presentations. Prezi, Haiku Deck, Zoho.com, Google Docs presentation. Yeah, because I've seen Prezi being used before by other students. It's kind of weird the way it organizes because it kind of flows and it makes it interesting, but I don't know how easy it is to use. And it uses a web map. So like, okay, here's the main idea. Here's this web, here's this web, here's this web, and you just get this big mind whatchamacallit. So definitely interesting. Create digital portfolios. For me, I've never heard of these. Web.seesaw.me. Silk.co, Sites.google.com, and Weebly. I've never heard of these. I don't know how popular they are. And me personally, I don't know whether they're really useful or not. But might have to look them up later on and see. So we'll have to see. Curate, organize, and share digital resources. The first one is obviously Diigo.com, which me personally, I don't know how much I like it. Because I know the $10 a month, I think I'd be willing to pay it, but I'm not sold yet on how useful it really is. Because, okay, so I can highlight information. Okay, I don't know how useful that is. I think there's other websites that can do that, and other stuff. The other ones I'd have to look up and see how useful they are. Like Scoop.it, EduClipper, EdShelf. I'll have to use these during the semester and see what happens, and hopefully we'd have to see. And then finally, create digital quizzes. Flipquiz.me, Riddle.com, Quizalize, and Testmos. I'm not too sure how useful these would be because it's kind of like, okay, our thing is which one would teach more? Would a physical paper where they have to do a quiz? Oh, now there was another class where I learned something. Shoot, I forget the name of the website. It's a digital quiz, but it's I forget the name of the website. I'd have to look it up. It was from a Read 3320 website, but from the class. It's one where all the students have to log on to the internet, into the site, and the first one, they have weird little, like a diamond, a square, circle, and the sooner you get the answer, the more points you get. It's almost like Jeopardy, except the faster you answer, the more points you get. And I forget what the name of it is, but quiz. No, I will recognize it later on when I look it up or when I ask on Facebook. But I know I've heard students before just substituting. Like, are we gonna? I know the teachers created a particular one, and they're like, "Are we doing whatchamacallit today?" And they were excited to do it. And this way, a digital quiz, it shows, okay, what they learned. So it definitely makes it interesting. But overall, great excellent resources. I know I favorited this site. I know I'll be using it again. So I definitely embrace it. And I'm glad for these kind of resources. So thank you very much. Have a nice day.